Madam Speaker, we know very well that deprived and less well-off communities like ours are very much dependent on public services provided by local councils. Our council workforce keeps our streets clean, look after our elderly and vulnerable, support our children's education, run our libraries, and works hard to keep us all safe. Without them, our towns and cities will barely function. Despite appreciating this fact, the Tory government, year after year, deliberately reduced funding for public services, increased the sufferings of those who needed a government which will stand by them, not against them. And at the receiving end of this unfair cut are our local council superheroes who, against the odds, have delivered efficiency savings year on year, but they have reached the limit of what they can be squeezed from an exhausted workforce. The local government workforce has endured years of pay restraint, with the majority of pay points losing 22% of their value since 2009 and 10. They face immense pressure, ever-increasing workloads, deteriorating pay and conditions, and persistent job insecurity. Madam Speaker, with regret, we also note the reality faced by our very own workforce in Cllr Hamlets. They are enduring an agonizing negotiation with the management and recently overwhelmingly agreed to trigger industrial action. The scope of this motion is very much relevant to this event, Madam Speaker. If we are to look at the very trade unionist spirit that our Mayor, I and my colleague in this chamber proudly represent. By supporting this motion, we also want to send a clear message to Veolia's leadership who are trying to deprive its workers holiday pay, and rightly so. The workers are resisting and fighting for their right. Finally, through this motion, I want to share a quote by great Martin Luther King with my Mayor, colleagues inside this chamber, and some sitting right by the Mayor a little above this floor. Martin Luther King said, "The labor movement did not diminish the strength of the nation, but enlarged it. By raising the living standards of millions, labor miraculously created a market for industry and lifted the whole nation to undreamed levels of production. Those who attack labor forget these simple truths, but history remembers them." Thank you, Madam Speakers.